Picture this. A cold wind sweeps across the vast, empty plains of Central Asia. The ground is hard, the sky endless, and survival is a daily battle. Out of this unforgiving landscape, a man emerges, not born into wealth or privilege, but shaped by hardship, betrayal, and relentless determination. This man, once an outcast, would go on to forge the largest contiguous empire the world has ever known. From the shores of the Pacific to the plains of Eastern Europe, his influence would span continents, transform civilizations, and alter the course of history. He united feuding nomadic tribes into a powerful force. He dismantled ancient dynasties with innovative warfare. He opened the doors of trade between East and West, establishing a new era of global interaction. And yet, his name continues to evoke both awe and fear. Genghis Khan. A figure wrapped in myth and controversy. A leader whose strategies are still studied in military academies. A man who, against all odds, reshaped the world not only through conquest, but through vision. This is not just the story of a warrior. It is the story of how one individual changed the fate of millions, and how his legacy still lives on, centuries later. This is the rise of Genghis Khan. In this video, we embark on a journey through time to unravel the extraordinary life and enduring legacy of one of history's most transformative figures, Genghis Khan. Who was this man behind the legend? What made him capable of uniting fiercely independent and often hostile nomadic tribes into a single, unstoppable force? And how did a people once considered peripheral to the great civilizations of the world come to dominate vast swathes of Asia and Europe under his leadership? More than just a military genius, Genghis Khan was a visionary statesman. His conquests were not driven by mere bloodlust or greed, but by a clear and ruthless strategy. He reorganized societies, introduced meritocratic governance, implemented efficient postal and communication systems, and laid the foundation for what would become a new world order in the 13th century. Through the establishment of secure trade routes like the famous Silk Road, he helped foster one of the earliest examples of globalization, linking China to the Middle East and Europe. The systems he put in place allowed goods, technologies, philosophies, and even diseases to flow across continents, marking the beginning of a truly interconnected world. But his legacy is not without controversy. For every advancement he brought, there were cities razed to the ground, populations decimated, and cultures forever altered. The story of Genghis Khan is one of paradoxes: brutality and brilliance, destruction and development, fear and fascination. In this video, we will explore how his life story continues to shape the world we live in today. From political systems to international trade, from military tactics to cultural exchange, the fingerprints of Genghis Khan can still be found in the structure of our modern society. By understanding his journey, from outcast to emperor, we gain insight into the raw power of leadership, vision, and the enduring impact of one man's ambition on the course of human history. To grasp the magnitude of Genghis Khan's achievements, we must dive into the historical context of 12th century Mongolia. The Mongol tribes were made up of nomadic clans, often in conflict with one another, living in a region marked by shifting alliances and tribal disputes. It was in this landscape that Temujin was born, the man who would later become known as Genghis Khan. Temujin faced numerous hardships early in life, including the death of his father and the marginalization of his family. However, his talent for building strategic alliances and his military skill allowed him to unify the Mongol tribes under his command. In 1206, he was proclaimed Genghis Khan, or universal ruler, marking the beginning of a new era for the Mongols. Under Genghis Khan's leadership, the Mongol Empire expanded rapidly, conquering vast regions of Asia and Europe. This expansion wasn't just military. The Mongols implemented efficient administrative systems, fostering trade and communication among diverse cultures. The creation of the Pax Mongolica brought security to trade routes, allowing for a constant flow of goods, ideas, and technologies between East and West. This integration had a profound impact on the development of many civilizations, influencing everything from commerce to scientific advancement. Genghis Khan is viewed in vastly different ways across the globe. While some cultures remember him as a brutal conqueror, others revere him as a visionary leader who promoted unity and progress. In Mongolia, for example, Genghis Khan is considered a national hero, a symbol of identity and pride. On the other hand, in regions that suffered under Mongol invasions, his memory is tied to destruction and suffering. These differing perspectives reflect the complexity of his legacy and the diverse experiences under Mongol rule. The impact of Genghis Khan's conquests was vast and long-lasting. The unification of large territories under a single empire enabled the dissemination of technologies, religions, and cultural practices. Moreover, the establishment of secure trade routes boosted economic growth and cultural exchange. However, the military campaigns also brought widespread destruction and loss of life. Cities were plundered, populations decimated, and cultural heritage sites destroyed. These negative consequences are an integral part of the Mongol Empire's history and must be acknowledged when evaluating its legacy. The story of Genghis Khan invites us to reflect on the power of leadership, the importance of strategic vision, and the impact of human actions on world building. In an increasingly interconnected world, the lessons of the past can offer valuable insights for today's challenges. Just as Genghis Khan unified diverse cultures under one empire, we now face the challenge of fostering cooperation and mutual understanding on a global scale. History shows us that while the path may be difficult, unity and collaboration are essential for humanity's progress. When studying historical figures like Genghis Khan, it's vital to adopt a balanced approach, acknowledging both achievements and failures. This allows for a deeper, more nuanced understanding of history and helps avoid oversimplifications and stereotypes. Educational initiatives that promote critical historical thinking, encouraging debate and analysis from multiple perspectives, are essential. Additionally, cultural exchange and dialogue between different communities can help build bridges and foster mutual understanding. Genghis Khan stands as one of the most consequential and enigmatic figures in the tapestry of world history. His life, achievements, and legacy continue to provoke both admiration and criticism, awe and discomfort. He was not merely a conqueror, but a catalyst for a new global era, one marked by expansion, innovation, terror, and transformation. His legacy is a paradox. On one hand, he united a fractured land, elevated talented individuals regardless of birth or background, and built a system of governance that brought order and stability to vast territories. On the other hand, he left in his wake the ashes of cities, the silence of lost cultures, and the trauma of entire populations. The duality of his rule forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the nature of power and the price of ambition. By diving into his story, we don't just learn about the past, we learn about ourselves. Genghis Khan's journey from a marginalized boy named Temujin to the ruler of the largest land empire in history reminds us of the incredible impact a single individual can have on the course of humanity. But it also serves as a cautionary tale. When leadership lacks empathy or respect for life, greatness can be paired with grave consequences. The Mongol Empire teaches us that history is rarely black and white. It is a mosaic of victories and tragedies, of innovations born from conquest, and of civilizations reshaped by force. It challenges us to reflect on how power is used, and misused, in our own time. Ultimately, the story of Genghis Khan is more than a historical account, it is a mirror. It compels us to consider the values we uphold, the systems we build, and the legacies we leave behind. Will we be remembered for division or for unity? For destruction or for creation? For domination or for cooperation? The past does not merely inform the present, it molds the future. And as inheritors of that past, we bear the responsibility to use knowledge, leadership, and influence not to conquer, but to connect, not to impose, but to inspire. In remembering Genghis Khan, let us choose to carry forward the lessons, not the violence, the vision, not the vengeance. The power to shape tomorrow lies in how we interpret and act upon the stories of yesterday. Did you enjoy this in-depth journey through the life and legacy of Genghis Khan and the extraordinary rise of the Mongol Empire? If this exploration sparked your curiosity, challenged your perspective, or offered you a new lens through which to see history, then we invite you to take a moment to support this channel. Your engagement truly matters. By liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with friends and fellow history enthusiasts, you help keep these powerful stories alive, and ensure that the lessons of the past continue to inform and inspire the present. But we don't just want to tell history, we want to hear from you. So now we ask, who was Genghis Khan to you? Was he a hero who forged unity from chaos and brought innovation to the world? A ruthless conqueror whose empire was built on bloodshed and fear? Or perhaps a complex figure, neither purely villain nor hero, but someone whose impact defies simple labels? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a space where ideas collide, perspectives are shared, and history comes alive through real conversation. We want to know what you think. And if you'd like to see more stories like this, more deep dives into the untold, misunderstood, or transformative moments of our shared past. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. History isn't just something that happened, it's something we carry forward, together. So thank you for watching, for thinking, and for being a part of this growing community. Let's keep learning. Let's keep questioning. And above all, let's keep history relevant.